Ladies and gentlemen, it is. And to all my viewers, do y'all remember this scooter right here? If you've been following my channel for a while, you more than likely do. This bike right here is pretty much what made my channel. Not only was it because it was the second scooter to hit the channel after my brother, me, and my father got our nanobots, but mainly because this was the scooter that blew up on my channel, hitting a whopping 80,000 views. Views I never expected to see so early in my channel. But that's all besides the point. The point is we haven't seen the scooter in such a long time. Well, just about 2 years ago in 2023, I wanted to have some fun on this thing again, try to charge it. It would not charge. Turns out, when I pulled the battery out, it was completely dead. A 60-volt battery was sitting as low as 11 volts. Something I've never seen before. So ever since that, after already about a year or a few months of sitting in the backyard collecting all this dust and sunlight, it had to sit in the backyard for about 2 more years, doing nothing but collecting dust and even more sunlight. Due to that, just like the rest of the bikes back here, it's beat up, it's dusty, it's waterboarded, and last but not least, the sun is murdering it. From the crusty paint on the frame, to the crusty paint on the bars, the headlight looks terrible, the wheels have large flat spots, they're dirty, and man, opening up this little bag is like opening up an old book. All the dust flies off when you start flipping those pages. But you know what, just like Square Body 1.0, it's kind of sick to see this bike like this, especially with this bike being so famous on my channel. I know people want to see more of it, and I'm hoping that's still the thing today because this is a pretty fun bike. But with that being said, it was possible ever since the Sur Ron was converted to 72 volts. Yeah, that battery is still having issues, still. But you know what that means. Today, I'm going to be sitting my 60-volt Sur Ron battery inside of the MotoTec 2,000-watt fat tire electric scooter. Let's bring this thing back to life. Let's peel this back. Maybe there's something under here. Oh. Yeah, what's going on with these guys? Why aren't these coming up? Yeah, I should be able to see it. It's in the nut right here, so that's why they're just spinning and not going. Let's get these off right here. Bam, so I don't have to flip the bike back over the other way. So I can officially start attacking these internals here. Get the fuck out of here. Alright, it's been a while since I've seen this. Let's hope there's not a spider home under here. Oh wow. Yep, there's definitely some new webs in there. But I definitely think it'd be possible to set that Sur Ron battery in there so it's not that long. It's just I'll have to try to get this stuff to move to the side. And let's throw this metal box out there. For the people who don't know, I do have a fear for spiders, especially when they start getting too big. Not gonna lie, I can't tell if just something just moved up there. You know, because it fits in there, but it is still a little long. So I'm trying to figure out how do I want to fit it. I would like to be able to have the grabbing handle still easy to access. I mean, is that not the best way right there? I don't want to crush any cables. Yeah, I don't want to crush any cables though. There we go, simple as that. Nice solid chunk. There we go, nice and easy. Shit is crusty as hell. It's coming off so easily. This has like a spring action in it, so it does crush a little bit easier than what I could do. Bam! Then I think I would take this and try to crush it as much as possible, if I can, without it sliding right on the middle. To add like a little dent. I'm just struggling right now, I think because these wires are really tough. Little touch still doesn't hurt. Oh, it does actually hurt. Golly, that is some tough shit. For safety measures, let's cover this up with some tape. Okay. Now let's shove that down there. I just need to be able to plug in. I keep forgetting this is not on, so we don't have to worry about sparking. All right, so we're all plugged in. But you know what? I'm not even gonna turn this on yet. I'm not trying to do that right now. Well, we gotta remember when I was doing the little cinematics. Yeah, that is a major problem. That's a driving hazard. I don't wanna drive like this. All right? This always comes out, and I don't know what's up with these, but if I remember correctly, they don't like to properly tighten. which it's not feeling too loose right now. So yeah, it's not moving anymore. It's whatever is going on with these. So right here, I started having mic issues. Apparently, the little receiver on the phone was loose. So eventually, it started hearing me do the phone. But right here, I had slapped 2 lock washers under the crease of this handlebar clamp, as you should be able to see. And that's what got these nice and stable and still. Later on, though, after a test, that bottom big bolt started getting loose again. So I Loctite that and I torqued it down to 30 foot-pounds. I tried to torque the 2 upper bolts, the ones from the actual clamp, and it turns out the little joint I was using was a little bit smaller than the actual bolt. Therefore, hopefully I didn't strip the left one, but it is a little damaged. Let's clean off this seat, because if this works, I don't want to be driving on this dusty ass seat. I gotta be careful though, because this wipe is a little too wet. Let's not drop any liquid into our battery cables, okay? I'm not even pointing at the seat. Jeez, man, my camera work right now is not good. Now it is finally that time to hit that switch. Pull out the key and turn this mother freaker on. Here we go, ladies and gents. The moment of truth. Oh my God. You can barely see it because the screen is so dusty, but it is indeed on. But we still got to see. Will it throttle? Do you know what this is right here? This is your brake switch. Now, how these usually work is let go of the brake, it lets go of this button. So when this button is out like it is right now, it's being triggered. These usually do 2 things, one or the other, or both at the same time. 1, they make regen in the motor, electric braking. See, I know where I'm going with this. 2, they stop the motor from going. Because this is unplugged or unscrewed right now, this might be what's stopping the motor from going, because I genuinely don't know why the motor would stop. I have it on right now. Let's get right under there and screw in that little golden screw that you're looking at right now. Turn this thing back on. Oh yeah. So now there is one more thing I really want to do to make sure that this all stays in place. There's no way for me to cover it up, not right now, if ever with this battery, but I know how to keep it in place. Simple. And that's by using some scissors and some tape. Next thing, it needs some air for these dusty ass tires. Luckily for me, I have this very nice electric air pump. I highly recommend these, man. These are great and very convenient. Now, these being some very big tires, I was extremely surprised to see that these only need 10 psi. Well, I was actually kind of wrong. It says 10 psi cold, 60 psi to get the bead onto the rim. Now me, I'm not 100% sure what to do because there's nothing specific on here. So I decided to do 20. I did 10 in the back because of the first reading, but I did 20 in the front and went back to do 10 in the rear again. But pretty much I put 20 psi in these tires and that felt pretty good. All right, it is about that time. Gave this a little charge because I did indeed test ride, but it's time to take this thing up front. And we're up front, man, oh man. Now I know I've done a lot of talking, you know, we got the little fix going on here, but I just think it's hilarious because I always talk about how I always used to call my bikes when I first built the moped, you know, super janky, you know, because just some stuff I built in my yard, no profession, never even welded before, literally just started welding like 1 week before I started putting together Project Flash. And I don't mean everyday consistent practicing, just some very simple stuff. And then bam, I built the Project Flash and it was there. So, you know, I'm like, it's cool to me because it's my build, but it just seemed janky. It seems like nowadays though a lot of people would disagree, but when I look at this thing, geez, this is truly janky. So let's hurry up, stop wasting time, get out my face, and let's hit the road. Still hate this throttle. Jeez. You know what's worse about this? Not only is it twist throttle, look how late its reaction is. Why? Now, I do want to say this as I leave my neighborhood. I did indeed do a test ride. I wanted to make sure everything was good. This bike was always good. The only thing that really had a problem was that battery dying. God damn, look at the Cybertruck. That Cybertruck is back. I took pictures with that thing before. But I'm saying that because we were on a 96 volt charge. Then I went to go drive it, and all I did is go down my street like I'm doing right now. Then we're about to go up here. Yeah, those brakes sound terrible. They still got rust on them. Then I went over here. And speaking of the rust that's on the brakes while they're squeaking super loud, I only have one brake to work with. Because I took oil out trying to repair my mom's bike. Maybe there is regen. Trying to repair my mom's bike. I was going to try to use this, and then it turns out the handlebar size, or no, it wasn't the handlebar size, it was this. It wasn't the right size for the one I had. The one I had was bigger. And I haven't filled it up since because at that time I thought about doing this, and which, let me remind you, I did the repair of my mom's bike August 2024, so the video came out way later than it was supposed to. So again, I'm on one brake. But anyways, went down my street, and then I did this circle, which I think I did this circle twice. This reminds me of my old neighborhood. If you didn't see the video I did going back to my old neighborhood about a month or more ago, and if y'all seen that video, you would see the old circle I used to do, which this circle kind of reminds me of that circle, but I like this circle better because this is more of a square, where the old neighborhood was more of a rectangle. What the fuck is that? Why? Oh my god. This keeps you in the neighborhood, so I don't have to really ever stop unless someone's blocking the road with their car. If they're not doing that, I'm always in the neighborhood, where the old neighborhood will kind of go out into not a main road, but a residential road where there's still a good amount of traffic, so you have to stop, check, and then go. But yeah, I did this because we're about to be at the end where I just came from. I did this twice, and I went from 96 to 88, which isn't a lot of percentage gone, but I feel like for how much I think I didn't do, it's a decent amount of percentage gone. So that's pretty much leading me to say that I'm not going to go super far this video. It's not the plan. Honestly, this video, I just want to have a little bit of fun driving this thing now that it's back in action, back working. And depending on how much range I get in this video, I accidentally hit the horn, which still works. Squeaky brakes, but they still work. They work pretty good actually, especially for only one brake. Yeah, depending on how much mileage I get in this video, next video I would want to make it a nice, fun, long drive. But I'll see, you know, what the mileage will allow us to go. Because I do think this Sur Ron battery is a much better quality battery than the battery that was in this one. Not only that, I think it's a bigger battery. I think that other battery was a 60 volt 18 or 20 amp hour. With the Sur Ron, I got a 38 amp hour Sur Ron battery. So same volts, of course, but 38 amp hours. So again, depending on how far this allows me to go, next video I might go somewhere. And I'm going to still continue to try to be careful with this twist throttle, because this shit sucks. It's crazy nowadays, everybody got an electric scooter. It's amazing to see. It's real nice out. It is 65 degrees in February. Just a few days ago it was 77 degrees. Summer's about to be something special, man. This is reminding me of how quiet hub motors are. Alright, so we're really not much faster. This thing used to do about 28 to 30. I guess we did 32, but that was probably me going with the wind, where now I'm going against the wind. So the speed's the same. Again, yesterday's test drive, we dropped that little bit of power, so I decided to charge the thing back up. So we're driving off of a full charge here. Oh wow, they painted a bike lane. Nice, I can feel safe in the bike lane. Even though I don't think there's any traffic behind me. I got rid of that broken ass mirror, so I can't see behind me. Oh, and that's the end of the bike lane. Forget how stable it is to drive this thing with these really, really large tires. I am also hoping that the handlebars stay nice and stiff now that I finally locked tight and even did something that I didn't think of doing but now could do since I finally had this tool. I'm gonna say it again, this bolt down here, that big bolt down there that keeps this whole thing on, always goes loose, and it started getting worse over time. It only took 2 years for that bolt to start getting worse and worse, so finally Loctited it and torque wrenched it. But you know what, now that I'm out here, I'm remembering it's been that long since I've driven this thing. The road we were just on to get around here, not that road coming up this way, the road coming up that way to get this way, if you know what I mean. That road was still torn up. There was still construction going on that road. This road was still closed. It's just been that long since I've been on this thing that a lot of roads were closed down. A lot of roads were still super rough. So as cool as it is to drive this thing, it was really painful at the same time. Not only that, I gotta remember too, GoPro 12, so we got hyper view. This bike has never seen hyper view, so I wonder how the view looks now, because it used to look pretty good with the old 9 and regular super view. I wonder how good it looks with hyper view. Man, this hyper view just makes everything look so much better. This 32 miles per hour, we are on a downhill, as you can tell, and we're kind of flowing with the wind. This hyper view should make this 32 feel a little bit faster. Not that much faster, it still is only 30 miles per hour. Regardless though, man, it feels so good to be back on this bike. Feeling the open roads on this bike, new camera view, it's refreshing. The only thing this bike needs afterwards, honestly, is a refresh of its own, because geez, look at this thing. It needs a cleaning. I wonder how clean I could get this thing with, you know, the sun damage. As y'all can see, that is chipped paint. That's raw steel right there. I really know I should be paying attention to the road, but as empty as it is, I feel comfortable doing this. That is still, that's a lovely view. I would hate when they started putting more and more houses down like they did this area. Hey, me and Simply Nate was down there a while ago. Sur Ron will make its return. Sur Ron will make its return. It may take a while though for that to happen, I'm not gonna lie, because there is indeed some things. I've said this a few times, I'll say it again. Look at that nice truck. There's a few things I'm trying to do this year that I really need to do. So some things might get pushed back. Some plans that I had that I was been keeping a secret from y'all, they're probably gonna get pushed back. I was gonna say I'm definitely not driving across this park, but I may do it at least once, because this thing has no suspension. That was uncomfortable, but I think it'd be pretty cool to do. But quick off topic, that's the one thing, man, I'm not too mad. I did a video a while ago, you know, just messing around on Square Body 1 when it was still good, when I had gave it its new battery. And I mentioned that video because I've been talking about it for a while, that the old 07 Expedition my parents had that was partially mine, because they had their 2 vehicles, was gone. The main reason it was gone, let's just cut to that, because it's gone. That's the main topic. The main reason it was gone is because I didn't have the money to maintain it. And I've been saying this to y'all, I don't have a job. I never said this, because I've told y'all how I do studies to get the Sur Ron Square Body 1, Square Body 2. You know, I sacrificed my body to science. I said that in my channel update video I did a few months ago. But I never said how I got the first Project Flash done, because at that time, my brother's been doing studies. My sister's husband's been doing studies for like 8 years at that time. I was just too scared to get into them, because I'm like, I'm not sacrificing my body to science. Not quite science, but you know, more hospital drugs for patients who actually need them. No, that I got that money from moving back to my parents' house after me and my brother was out there for a while, and I had a job at the time. I had like $900, so I'm pretty sure I bought some frame parts, steel, and then it was around 2020 Christmas, and then my birthday's in January, so in January, you know, 2021 January, I got the battery for Christmas, or I think I got the motor for Christmas, the battery for my birthday, and then I just started building. Where nowadays, you know, I'm sick of being a test tube baby. Shit's lame. Every study I did, it got me what I needed, so I'm not too mad at it, but really didn't want to do it. And nowadays, I mentioned this, I'm pretty sure I mentioned this at the end, not the end, but the end portion. Oh, this is about to be so rough. I'm pretty sure the end portion. Desert Shores, was it? I think it was Desert Shores. Some things I really want to... I got somebody staring, they're about to call the police. Some things I want to do. Holy fuck, what happened to the grass that used to be here? Some things I want to do for 2025, and one of those, I'm trying to locate a job, because there's some things I want to do that I can't do with this inconsistent money. And you know what, man? You know what I'm tired of? The Expedition. I wouldn't be able to quite do these things properly because it's an SUV, but I kind of miss having the Expedition because there's a little bit I could do with it. And now not having a vehicle, it'd be so much easier if I had a vehicle to take my bikes around and then go to a location. So if I wanted to take this thing way down north and ride the trails like I used to, slap in the back of a vehicle, I could do that. Don't have a vehicle anymore. If I wanted to take this to the Strip, slap this in the back of the vehicle, go to the Strip. Can't do that anymore. Summerlin, Henderson, even though I'm probably never going to go to Henderson again, but you know, you get the point. You know, I could take my bikes down to certain locations and it'd be much easier to do these things where I have to drive my bike to the locations, and that's what makes it so much harder to go to certain locations. Like I said last video, when I went to Henderson, I was supposed to go to Henderson to go to Lake Las Vegas, but that was range that would be real sketchy to do on that bike. It wouldn't have to be my bobber, you know, whenever I get a proper battery for my Sur Ron.
take my Sur Ron down to Lake Las Vegas. I could take this down to Lake Las Vegas. Or I could say forget it, stop being scary, and try to slap that big old bike in the back of what would have to be a truck and take that down Lake Las Vegas, you know? But I don't have a vehicle, I don't have a truck, I don't have anything to even attempt those things. So I've said it a few times, and probably like 2 or 3 videos so far, I'm gonna say it again. Some things I'm trying to do for 2025 that I need to be doing anyway. Y'all see soon, because I will update y'all on it. I'm gonna say it again once the proper time comes, because I'll be saying this stuff all the time around the end of the video. When I start making these moves, I'm gonna say it during the beginning of the video, because I want to update y'all on what's going on. Woo! But you know what? All this talking, the video from the fixing portion is already kind of long. I don't think there's anywhere else I need to drive. I'm probably gonna do a lot of driving off camera to test this thing's range. So for now, I just want to hit y'all with a little drive just to show y'all how much it works, and just to give y'all some scenery, which we're really getting on this trail. You know, this is the perfect trail to drive with a bike like this, kind of, because this bike is about 30 miles per hour, but we don't have to do 30. I'm hitting these curves with these big fat tires. Oh yeah, getting a hang of it already. It's been a while. But I'm gonna hit this trail, probably make my way back home. But geez, going back to the bike, man, this is still such a very fun bike. But you know what though? I don't want to forget to say it, so I'm gonna say it now. This is not gonna be the last of this bike. As you already know, it's working. So I want to do some more drives while it's looking like this. But when I say it's not the last of this bike, I'm not talking about just doing more drives. No. I'm talking about doing more upgrades. This one may not work, but there's something I want to do with this bike, and that's not quite a frame upgrade, but just like a piece swap out some pieces. And then after I swap out some pieces, this one's gonna take a while. I'm gonna have to stack up some cash. I want to start upgrading this thing's drivetrain. I want to know what this motor back here can do, which I'm sure it can't do too much more than what I got it doing right now, but I have a feeling it can do a decent bit more than what it's doing right now. But what I will say is, speaking of a drivetrain, I got the 60-volt battery. I do still have a faulty, broken Far Driver 96. Never mind. Shit, I just shitted on my own dreams. I just quickly remembered, because I said this before I actually left the house and drove out. I said I was going to mention this because I do have this controller sitting around. It's old square body 2.0, the Honda Shadow's faulty controller, but I just remembered that it's an encoder motor controller. Yeah, never mind. Damn, why is hitting these curves on this bike actually like feels so nice. I think what makes it feel nice is that the wheels aren't super skinny, so even though it's harder to do, there's a trail right there, never seen that before. Even though it's harder to do because the wheels are fatter, you just know you're not going to slip out. Do you see me? Don't hit me now. Yeah, they gotta stop, son. They gotta stop. I've only done 8 miles so far. You know what's great about the scooter too? I've always had the problem with the Sur Ron, and especially with the moped. 2 lightweight, not very heavy, thin-wheeled e-bikes. 2 very, very sketchy bikes to ride during high winds like now, especially at their speeds, because they're faster than this. But you know what? Even though I'm not going that fast, so that could be one, this bike is so stable. It's only 120 pounds. The Sur Ron's about 110, 120 pounds. My Sur Ron now is probably like 130, 140. But this being 120 pounds, not only is its center of gravity so low, because even though I got a Sur Ron battery in it now, it's way down there, the fat wheels keep this thing so stable under high winds. I am only doing, well, 27 right now. But regardless, I know this would feel a lot more sketchy on the Sur Ron. But you know what, y'all? I think this video is long enough. And there's not really much else where to go. If y'all enjoyed this, man, make sure y'all hit a like, comment, and hit that subscribe button. Let me say it one more time, okay? Like, comment, and hit the subscribe button to get electrified with us people. Become electric with the rest of the people, alright? Until I find out what range this bike has, for now, it's going to be a neighborhood bike. But I'm just glad to see it back. It has been your boy. Me. I'm out. Peace.